Hey everybody, it's Liz here. I want to talk to you today about muscle testing, why you do it, what it is, and how you do it. It's in the divining category of things like reading tarot cards or using a pendulum. I use muscle testing in my work a great deal because it's very quick and easy. It's quicker than picking up a pendulum to wait for it to give me a yes or a no, I find. So I use muscle testing a lot. I'm going to tell you why. So what's going on with muscle testing? Muscle testing is where basically you are relying on your muscle system as a readout to your subconscious mind or what's going on in your luminous field or aura, right? It's also a way to get information from source. So the concept is your muscles are mildly stronger when it's a positive or yes answer, and your muscles are a little bit weaker when it's a no answer. Muscle testing is primarily used for yes or no. Now, there might be other ways to use it, but I mostly use it for yes and no. That's how I've been taught, and I can't think of other reasons right now. So you may have seen people demonstrate on stage somewhere where they hold an arm out. The client holds the arm out and someone pushes down on their arm. You'd ask a question. And if it's a positive answer, did you have oatmeal this morning? And if the client did, it'd be harder to push down the arm, it'd be more resistance. I mean, of course, Herculean strength could push an arm down, but the idea is it's stronger when it's a positive answer. If the person didn't have oatmeal, you'd be able to push their arm down. And it's quite an amazing demonstration to show for people. It's really miraculous to see that. It's quite something. But that's very tiring to do on a daily basis for pragmatic daily use. I'm going to teach you a system where you just use four fingers, your first two fingers and your thumbs, and you simply make a hook, right? All right. But before I teach you that, I want to tell you, I think, four things that kind of have to go on before you can get accurate muscle testing. One is, I think it's really good to get into a meditative, safe sort of space where you put some protection around you, you ground, get some good energy. I think I have an expanded awareness video that I'll put down in the description box that can talk to you about how to kind of go up and out, how to get to a space where your frequency is high enough where you can hear clearer and more honestly from source and not kind of get out of your ego and your conscious frontal lobe mind. I think it's really good to get into that meditative theta or alpha state, however you want to think about it, or whatever it is you do to get calm and centered. I use golden light. I fill my aura with a golden light, but you can use white or silver, but you get the idea. That's number one. Number two, it's just good to practice. Just practice. I'm going to show you what to do first, just to get started for this mini class. Practice. Three, begin to trust what you get, because as you trust what you get, the source or universe is like, oh, she's listening. Let's give them some more information. So more information may come in a download or a flood and come more accurate and clearly and quickly. The fourth thing is, I wouldn't start asking big, huge, important life questions like, do I leave him or her? Do I sell everything and wander the world? Do I have the surgery? Do I go live in the mountains? For the bigger questions, I would wait till you're more practiced. And in fact, I think it can be better to have an unbiased third party or have a few other people do it for you if it's important to you and you don't want your ego getting in the way. But by all means, you're the boss of your life. And so I think that's a good start for what I had. A fifth thing that'll come to mind, but those are important things. Now, how do you get started? What you want to do, the point is, that's the fifth thing, is getting the right tension for muscles. Getting the right tension is important. So when you start this process, you can just simply begin, hook your fingers and have them snug and just say, give me yes, give me no. Give me yes, give me no. Give me yes, give me no. Do it 10 or 20 times a day. Then tomorrow, try it again. And the next day, try it again. Now, the point is not to have your fingers so strong that you feel like, oh my gosh, if it were yes, if it were a no, there would be some way to separate my fingers. That's very tiring and not necessary. It's better to get the right tension where you're getting a yes and you're getting a no. And you can intuitively feel it and you're not tiring yourself out. So I have a gentle tension. It's snug. So give me yes, give me no. Now you don't have to trust me that that's what's happening. I'm on the other side of the screen. I could be faking it, but I'm not. But you get to the idea, you get to the point where you're getting a good yes and a good no, good yes and a good no. And then you can begin asking yourself, testing yourself with things like, did I have oatmeal this morning? Did I have eggs this morning? Did I eat breakfast this morning? And see what you get. And then you can move on to asking somebody else. Asking, did Joe have eggs for breakfast? Yes, he did. Did Joe have an orange for breakfast? No. And then you check with Joe. And you can actually work with a partner to test you on these things. You can expect like a 60 to 70% accuracy perhaps when you start and move up to 80%, 85. I don't know that it's always 100%. I think there's some amazing intuitives and psychics out there that get that accuracy. I do not. I'm good if I'm getting it 90 or above, or early low 90s. So that's why you can use other systems to double check, and you use your intuition. The other thing I'll tell you is that I often, as an intuitive, I'll often get a hit. In other words, I'll just get a drop in information of what the answer is already going to be. So number one, that's a fun way to test, but it's also good to test because then you're corroborating your answer. So when I'm working with a client, let's say one of my jobs in my energy work is to reintegrate dissociated parts, call them inner children if you like, back to the main personality. So I muscle test to see how many there are, and then I test myself. So I'll say, are there 5 parts out? Yes. Are there 6? No. Are there 4? Yes. Are there 5? Yes. Are there 7? No. So I kind of double check myself. And also often I'll hear a number 5 and I'll test it. And that's again a crawl, walk, run phase where you just, as you begin the practice, you get better and better at it. And that's why it's important not to ask really important questions. I actually have a friend of mine when I was in theater last time who saw me with my tarot cards one time, and he flipped. And I said, oh my gosh, I think his name was Chris. I'll call him Chris. Chris, what happened? He said, oh my gosh, my wife threw tarot cards, went to a tarot card reader who said she should divorce me, and she did. Now, I don't know about the history behind that. Maybe it was supposed to happen, but when you don't use one data point, one tarot card reader, one muscle test to decide these big questions. It should be a data point or two. So it's just a certain intuitive help for you. So again, it's a yes, no, yes, no. But I wanted to point out that you don't have to have superhuman strength. That's not the point. You just want enough where you understand and trust your yes, and then trust your no. And then practice, have fun with it. I think it's very important to use evidence-based practice as well, where you can have someone hide something in their house, and you can tell them, is it in their living room, from a distance, is it in their living room, is it in their closet, is it in the kitchen, and you can muscle test and test yourself that way. Evidence-based is so great because that builds your confidence. I'll leave you there with this mini muscle testing course. Another quick thing too is some people, if you want to know if you should get the steak or the salmon at the restaurant, you don't have to be in front of your partner going, do I get the steak? Do I get the salmon? Do I get the steak? Do I get the salmon? You can actually you can do it under the table, but some people will just use their thumbnail, and they'll use their thumbnail as like a little stick plate, if you will, where if they get a stick, it's a yes. And if it's smooth, it's a no. Or maybe it'll be different for you. So you can try your thumbnail as well. There's a lot of fun ways to play with the body with divination. And I'll leave you with that. Take care, bye.